So, McDonald's just made a huge mistake posting this brand new Christmas ad. It is completely AI generated and everyone hates it. I think that everyone would hate it even if it weren't AI generated, to be honest, because the entire point of the ad is hating Christmas. And I guess this makes sense because they're also posting a bunch of like Grinch promos. So they have a new like Grinch Happy Meal. I guess
Mhm.
the vibe that they're going for this Christmas is just hating Christmas and spreading negative vibes to everyone. So far, what I know is that they first panicked and turned the comments off on YouTube. Then they completely took down the ad altogether off
Yeah.
of YouTube after the backlash ensued. But let's take a look at it now, and we'll get our first impressions out of the way.
Here we go. Got it.
It's the most terrible time of the year. All the shops turn to mayhem, even Santa knows space, and the tree redecorated your place. It's the most terrible time of the year. The roast turned to charcoal, and the cookies burn too. Freaking chaos, it feels like a zoo. It's the most terrible time of the year. So you flee from the madness, the lights and the cheer, and hide out in McDonald's till January's here.
I wonder if the song was AI generated, if they prompted it. See, like
Yeah,
using
I
Suno.
can't tell about the song. I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that the AI generated video is more advanced than AI generated songs. But,
No,
you know, I
no,
could
no,
be
no,
wrong.
no. I don't. I think the opposite.
You think it's the
like,
opposite?
there is so much music being made with Suno these days. That's so I've been sending it to everybody that I can. There are these. I don't even know how to describe it. They're like 2000s pop reimagining, like pop punk reimaginings of songs that are literally the most incredible thing ever. I actually, like, when I listen to them, I'm like, I feel bad for actual musicians, like I do, because most people don't look at art in the most I guess the word would be esoteric light. They don't think of it in the same deep way because all art they see these days is commercialized. They don't, it's not like they're going to galleries and they're looking at art with this great description, what the art, you know, it's like, you've been to galleries, right? Like that takes a lot of work to do what they do, to build out the displays and the galleries, the art houses and everything. But most people aren't consuming their art this way. And McDonald's, to call it art, is a bit silly. So when it comes to music, I feel even worse for them because they put, millions of man hours into making songs, and somebody just goes in Suno and's like, yeah, could you make like Justin Bieber's One Time, but make it a Motown song from the 60s? And then that's just what, I mean, it takes work, but it doesn't take the same type of work. I actually feel bad for them. And I do believe that as the generations expand, getting into Gen Alpha and then Gen Beta, the idea of like the humanity of art is going to start to disappear, and it's going to be all about consumption.
Well, I can't say for sure because I'm not in the music industry. Maybe we could phone in Phil's take, but
Yeah.
I've heard that it's an open secret that pretty much all mainstream artists are incorporating AI into their songs. They're using it to basically create the melodies, and then they're going to put their vocal tracks over it, and that's not being disclosed to the people streaming and buying their music, obviously. But aside from all that, I mean, you understand the intricacies that go into lighting and composition when corporations are, filming commercials, at least how they used to. And a lot of that complexity has been lost here as well. But I really hate the concept of the ad more than anything, like more than the fact that it's an AI generated ad. Coca-Cola made the fact that their commercial was AI generated kind of the focal point. McDonald's, it seems like they were going for that to be, just one interesting feature of it, and hopefully like how it fly under the radar.
Does the cynicism bother you? Like, that's the first thing I thought. The cynicism is annoying.
It's horrible. The studio behind the ad says they hardly slept for several weeks while writing AI prompts and refining the shots. AI didn't make this film, we did. So they're trying to combat the idea that they didn't put human effort into it. But ultimately, the backlash became too loud, and McDonald's panicked and took it down. Obviously, the internet is forever, so everyone's seen it already.
Yeah.
But here was an absolutely insane take from someone who goes by ChatGPT21 on X. He says, McDonald's just dropped a new AI ad, and it's beautiful. And I'm tired of people pretending this is not the future of media. If this played on your TV during a normal commercial break, you would be disingenuous to say it's slop, or I could easily tell it's AI. It's a fantastic ad on its own merits, and it's obvious that AI video will eventually be one-to-one with reality, where you truly cannot tell the difference if you're of average intelligence and can extrapolate, of course.
Yeah.
Just wanted to point out that he used the wrong "you're" there when saying if you're of average intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
When we get there, then what? Is it still slop, or does slop permeate as a label for anything made with AI, even when you cannot tell at all? I still think you can easily tell.
There's a
Gaussian,
look to the shots, like especially the one where like the blender blows up in the guy's face or whatever. First of all, that would give my wife a heart attack. If something like this happened. But there's this Gaussian nature. It's kind of hard to tell with the resolution being what it is here on the video replay, but it's like it's the way that that it sits in the lighting here, like in the lights up top. It has a painted feel to it that's like at odds with reality. But the thing is, I did a video while you were moving on this AI artist, an AI Christian artist. I don't know how a Christian artist can be AI. Or how an AI can be Christian, but a Christian artist named Solomon Ray that's made it to the top of like the gospel charts. And if you listen to the songs, like, cause he put out he put out a Christmas album, right? And I'm telling you, if you're just a normie and you're in your car driving to go buy Christmas presents, or, God forbid, you're at an actual store trying to buy gifts and you heard it on the speakers, it's indistinguishable to me. Like, people were like, it sounds like Chris Stapleton. I'm like, okay, that's the problem here. It sounds like somebody, but for the most part, nobody's going to be thinking about it that deeply unless they're really into the music scene. And that's what these corporations want. They want stuff that can pass for the passive listener.
I don't know if I did. I don't remember if I shared this on the show before my move, but I was getting my nails done recently, and I know I told you about it off air at least. The nail salon they usually just play like kind of non-licensed, royalty-free tracks that are just like whatever music. But today, the day that I was in the nail salon, they were playing what was so clearly AI generated rock songs. And I felt like I was the only person in there paying any attention to the background noise, because I wasn't talking to anybody. And all of the rock songs were with the same, like, you can tell the vocals are AI because the guy's basically screaming. And there's no like real recognizable melody to it. And all of the lyrics were like, it's rock and roll till the day I die. Like, rock and roll will never lie. Like, I don't even know what it was saying. It was the most generic thing ever. So I can still tell. But, the predictions about AI aside, like whether it will get to the point where it's indistinguishable or not, I still think that we should stand our ground and say, like, this is not what we want for the future. Like, the question still remains, is one superior to the other? And I think that, a commercial made with real actors and real human-made music is superior.
Absolutely.
Matt Walsh said, if you call AI-generated slop beautiful, I lose all respect for you as a human being. Your soul has to be in a state of total decay to look at some lifeless, uncanny bullshit spit out by an algorithm and use the word beautiful to describe it. AI slop can never be beautiful. And the AI progenitors are just going to continue saying that slop is an unfair, derogatory slur for a beautiful art form, and these factions are just going to keep screaming at each other. But I did really take most issue with the cynicism of the ad and saying Christmas is the most terrible time of the year. It would be a flop commercial regardless of whether it were AI generated, but I think the fact that it's AI generated is no coincidence to why they chose this messaging.
Yeah.
This one reply said, regardless of AI, this is a bad idea for a commercial. Most people like Christmas. Nobody wants negative vibes. Don't blame AI for bad taste. So those are just some editorial notes that they could use for the future.
Yeah, this seems like a weird question, but like, what generation really promulgated this cynical worldview? Because I think it's the thing that bothers me more than anything when I watch movies and television, is there's just a lack of earnestness in most things. I think that's why people liked Top Gun Maverick as much as they did, as weird of a pivot as that is. But it felt earnest. It felt like it was willing to put itself out there in a way. And nobody really wants to do that anymore because nobody wants to look foolish. What generation do you think brought that about? Was that the millennials? Because now it feels like millennials lean into like fake nostalgia for their childhood. That's supposed to be like there's like an air of earnestness there, but it's not. It's cynicism because it's cynical in the way they see the world now.
I think it might have started before the millennial generation.
Gen X?
Possibly Gen X. I think that the more people hate their own families, the more they're going to hate Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's really the truth of the matter. The more people hate their own families or are indifferent to their own families or are just geographically distant from their own families.
Yeah.
That's really where the cynicism comes from, I think, because these are, of course, the times of year when you are forced or pressured to be around your family. That's really where it comes from.
We watched Miracle on 34th Street over Thanksgiving, and I liked that the main character, like the Dylan McDermott's main character, is basically like he's trying to instill a sense of wonder in this kid that doesn't have any because her mom basically told her Santa isn't real, and she's too grown up for her own age. And he's like, and obviously the point of the movie is that Santa does exist, but like the idea here is he's trying to reinstill a sense of wonder in somebody who's lost it. And I feel like that's just something nobody values anymore.
I have had this movie recommended to me recently. I think I can't remember the actor, but he's a divorced dad in the movie, and Santa like crash lands on his property and dies, and then he has to...
You've never seen the Santa Claus?
No, I have not.
Oh, yeah. That's the Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
Tim Allen, yes. Okay, so I've had people recommend that to me because it's sort of like COD, Child of Divorce Core cinema, and that type of earnestness and sincerity needs to make a comeback in cinema in general, but especially Christmas movies.
There's a part in that movie where he takes, if I remember correctly, and we are going to rewatch it this year, he takes his son to Denny's, I think over Thanksgiving, because like the turkey is like I don't remember if the turkey got burnt or whatever it was, or he just didn't have one, and the kid's already bummed because they've got to go to fucking Denny's on Thanksgiving. And he's excited for one thing, and to get like chocolate milk. And he asks the lady, like, "Can I get a chocolate milk, please?" She goes, "We're out." And he goes, "Regular milk's fine." I love that.
I need
movie.
to watch that soon.
It's worth it. It is. It's and you see his character. You see Tim Allen's character go through his own growth and his own evolution in that movie, and it does lean into the idea that cynicism isn't the way forward. That sometimes you just need to believe. So, all right.
Well, that's to my point. That's why I believe the cynicism began before the millennial generation, because baby boomers have had the highest divorce rate compared to all following generations. So once families started getting broken apart, I mean, obviously that means that people are going to have negative associations with the holidays.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.